The ability of a fashion designer to combine gems, accessories, and beads together in the most aesthetically pleasing way is a very important skill. In today's video, I'll be sharing 3 beading patterns that you can incorporate into your next outfit and is sure to transform the outfit from looking basic to looking incredibly stunning. If you enjoy watching the video after watching all the way through, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and don't hesitate to share with your friends. Let's get started. For the first beading pattern, I have this little piece of fabric that I've already drawn out my straight lines, and I have my beading needle and my polyester thread. The size of beading needle that I'm working with is the size 11 beading needle. What I'm doing here is I'm passing a single piece of sequin through my needle, and I'm going to pick 7 pieces of sand beads and then push all the way through my thread, just like I just did. And this time I'm passing another sequin through my needle and thread. This time the sequin is facing upside down. I hope you guys understand what I mean. So with your sequins, you have the top portion and you can turn it upside down. People that are familiar with sequins already know what I'm talking about. So when you're passing the second sequin, you are turning it upside down and passing it through your needle and thread, and this is what you should have when you pass the needle and thread through your fabric. Next up, you're going to come out with your needle just in front of this second sequin that you pass through, and this time you put 1 sequin again, pick up 7 sand beads or seed beads depending on the type of bead you are using. You can even use crystal bead if that's what you have. Feel free to use any type of bead, and then you push all the way down and then pass another sequin, this time upside down, pass it through your needle and thread. Can you guys see the way I'm passing it? So this is my sequin facing upside down that I just showed you guys. And once you've pushed it all the way through, you now go in between where the first set of sequin that you pass through is, and then put your needle and thread through that point. Everything that I'm saying here sounds like a lot, but just look at the way I'm passing my needle and thread and everything and replicate it, and you'll be sure that you would get something like this. Everything will start to make sense when we continue along. This is what you should typically have if you've done everything correctly. Now going forward, after you've done that portion, you will come out again in front after the last sequin, just like I'm doing here, and then you put 1 sequin and then pick up 7 pieces of sand beads. Once that is done, you're not putting any other sequin through. This time we are just going to be continuing along without a second sequin that will be facing upside down. The only point where you need 2 sequins is for the first 2 when you start off. Then going forward, you just continue with just 1 sequin and 7 sand beads. Everything I'm saying now might sound like a lot, but I'm going to switch now to my microphone, my regular microphone, and then talk us through the entire process. For a better experience, learning experience, I suggest that you get your sequin and beads together and walk along with me as I continue along in today's video. Please remember to like the video. Feel free to drop your questions down in the comment section, and don't hesitate to share with someone that you think will find this kind of video very useful. Alright guys, I hope we've all been following how I've been passing my needle, but because I don't really know how my voiceover is going to be set up, so I decided to just come and talk to us. So remember when I started off here, I placed my sequin first, I put in 7 pieces of sand beads and then put another sequin after at the end. 1 sequin, 7 sand beads, 1 sequin, and then I stuck my needle into my fabric. This fabric is called felt. I only use it because this is an illustration, right? If you are beading, please bead directly on your dress. Please, what I'm doing here, do it directly on what you're trying to design. All right, now that I've said all of that, 1 sequin, 7 beads, 1 sequin. Then push your needle into your fabric and then bring out your needle in front right here. Okay, in front right here, put in 1 sequin. I hope my needle is showing us what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this 4th sequin right here at the bottom here. So put in your sequin, 7 beads again, 1 sequin again, and then you are coming backwards, because by the time you've done these first 2, there's space in between this place. So you're coming backwards and then putting your needle into your fabric. After putting your needle backwards, you now come forward again to this point here. Going forward, you are just putting 1 sequin, 7 beads, 1 sequin, 7 beads, and then you are coming backwards, skipping one step, coming backwards. Let me just illustrate that. Remember, I'm at this point now. I have my 1 single sequin and then 7 beads. So I'm going to just pick up 1 sequin, of course, 7 beads. Just in case everything I'm saying is sounding too much for you, please get your sequins and your beads and go along with me. Okay, start from the beginning of the video. So remember, 1 sequin like I have here, and then 7 pieces of beads. This is what I have here. All right, so I'm pushing it down all the way through. Now, this is the sequin that I just put in now. I'm skipping this point here. I'm not going to put my needle through this sequin here. I'm skipping this one and then coming backwards. If you need to raise your beads, please do so and raise your beads. And then I'm sticking my needle into the center of the sequin. I believe we all know that most sequins have some kind of hole in between them. So that's where you're passing your needle through. So you see what I just did there? I hope we all understand. Let me illustrate one more time. I'm passing my needle again, coming out. I drew these lines just to serve as a guideline. This video is a beginner's tutorial for my beginners, okay? If you watch this video thoroughly as a beginner, you should be able to recreate something like this. So, put your needle again. Don't go too far. Just move slightly away from this last one that you inserted. And come out on your line. Like so. And then pull your needle all the way through. Pick 1 sequin. Like so. Pick up 7 pieces of beads. These are my 7 beads. And then skip. Don't put your needle through this one that we just did. You skip it and then come backwards and put your needle into your fabric. I'm trying to target the center of my sequin. Like so. Let me see. No rocket science going on here. Very, very self-explanatory. For those that are wondering what is the hole she's talking about, so this is what sequins come in different styles and different shapes. I have a whole video talking about sequins, stones, beads. I'll try my best to link it on the screen. If you're a beginner, I suggest you check out that video. It's going to be very valuable to you. So this is what a sequin looks like. So this is the hole in between the sequin that I'm passing my needle through. So just for those that might be curious. So I'm just going to continue what I just did here. I'll continue all the way through till I get to the end of my fabric, and then we'll do another beading tutorial on this other line. If you've been enjoying the video so far, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, kindly subscribe and join us on the channel. Thank you. Okay friends, so I'm currently done with this first beading pattern. I hope we all understood the explanation. Imagine incorporating this into your designs. It will look absolutely stunning. Again, if you enjoyed this portion, please hit the like button. Alright guys, let's move on to the second beading pattern that I'll do on this other line. For the second beading pattern, you need your sequin and your pearls. Feel free to use sequin and maybe like a size 6 crystal bead if that's what you have. And I'm going to explain how we are going to go about it. For this first one that I did, I forgot to put my second sequin. So you put 1 sequin, pass it through your needle, put 1 pearl, and then go in with 1 more sequin upside down and kind of like sandwich your pearl in between 2 pieces of sequins. Everything I'm saying now might not necessarily make sense, but please look at what I'm passing through my needle and replicate it. Like I said, for the first one, I forgot to put the second sequin, but going forward, you put 1 sequin, 1 pearl, 1 more sequin, and then push your needle through your fabric. I keep repeating that on this straight line. This tutorial is a beginner-friendly tutorial. Everything I'm saying here, even if you've never done any form of beading in your entire life, if you watch this video, I'm sure you'll be able to do something beautiful. So just get your pearls, your sequins, and your sand beads together and walk along with me. So You see what I did there? I sandwiched one piece of pearl in between two pieces of sequin, and that's how I'll continue like that on a straight line. I always recommend for beginners especially to have your outline drawn. If you want to start off in learning how to bead, just draw straight lines and try and bead on those straight lines. That helps to make your work very, very neat, and it also helps you know how to kind of like maintain stability when beading, right? So you don't want a situation where your bead work is looking crooked and ugly, okay? So with those guidelines, it helps you to just maintain a straight line and come up with something beautiful. I'm going to keep quiet now. I'll let you guys watch the way I'm passing my sequins and my pearls through my needle and thread, and then when we are done with this beading pattern, we'll move to the next one. You guys, please apologies. I kept trying to reposition my camera here and there just to make sure that you guys get a very fantastic viewing and learning experience. And another thing is I can see that I'm using an off color of thread. I just always have like a lot of threads just passed through my needle, so anyone that my hand just touches as I'm trying to film a tutorial for you guys, I just always pick without really bothering about how the color combination is looking. Like I always say, my videos are mostly educational. I'm not trying to design a dress or anything. So if you're working on maybe like a dress or something, maybe a headpiece or whatever it is you're trying to bead, please keep your color combination and color theory, make sure that they are all put together. Okay, don't use a blue thread on a brown fabric or white thread on the blue fabric. Like, let's say, make it make sense when doing your work. Okay, I'm going to keep quiet now. I'll let you guys watch all the way through. Please remember to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and feel free to ask your questions if you have any for me after watching the video all the way through. All right, friends, so we are almost at the end of our fabric. Now it's be time for me to move on to the next beading pattern that we'll be working with, and this time we are working with our pearls and rose montees. For those that are new here and they're like, which one is rose montees again? Welcome to the channel. First of all, I have a lot of tutorials talking about beads, beading, millinery, sewing, and a bunch of things, so please catch up on my older videos. But this particular piece of gem that looks like a crystal, it's kind of sparkly, that's what we call rose montees, and it's just a type of accessory that you also need to use or know how to use when trying to get into fabric embellishment. So that's what we'll be working with in today's video for this last beading pattern. So I'm basically stacking my rose montee on top of my pearls. For this particular work, I feel like if I had worked with a bigger size of pearl, it would have allowed the beauty of this work show. But even with this one that I did, it doesn't look bad at all. But if you can get a bigger size of pearls, pearls come in different sizes. I'm sure we know that already. For people that are subscribed to this channel and you've watched the tutorial on knowing your types of beads and sizes of beads, we know that pearls come in different sizes. So if I'd used a bigger size of pearl, that would have been perfect. But even with this one too, it makes sense. So the way I'm doing it is I'll pass my needle and thread through my fabric, pass one piece of pearl through my needle, and then pass one piece of rose montee through my needle again. So basically, like, I'm stacking my rose montee on top of my pearls, and then this time when trying to pass my needle through my fabric, I'm taking the needle through the pearl. I hope you guys saw what I did there. I'm going to do that a couple more times just so we get to see it. So instead of just passing your rose montee and sticking your fabric into sticking your needle, into your fabric, you pass your pearl, pass your rose montee, and then pass your needle through the middle of the pearl into your fabric. I'm going to keep quiet now. I'll let you guys watch the way I'm doing this till I get to the end of this line. If you still have questions for me, please feel free to ask. This particular beading pattern, I use it in my most recent headpiece tutorial, the beaded headpiece that I wore for a wedding. For those that have seen that video, you know what I'm talking about. If you've not seen the video, I'll try my best to link it at this point while editing. So go check out that video and see how you can incorporate some of these beading patterns into your next headpiece or your next dress or whatever it is that you choose to design. All right, friends, thank you so much for sticking with me up until this point. If you've made it up to this point, please comment yes. YASS. Yes, that's how I know that you guys have made it up to this point. All right, so this is what we've done so far. We did 3 beading patterns again in this video. Just as a recap, we did this first one right here, and I took my time to explain. If you're still confused, like I said during the course of the video, get your tools together. Most of what we used in this particular video are sequins, pearls, sand beads, and rose montiers. So if you have any of these things, just gather them together and practice. Watch this video over and over again until these beading patterns become a thing, like you guys have the knowledge stuck in your head. All right, so we did this beading pattern first of all, and then we moved on to do this one, a combination of sequins and pearls, and I showed you guys how you need to place your sequins and pearls to get this same result that I got here. See how stunning this is. And we also did this final beading pattern here, which is a combination of pearls and rose montiers. Okay, see how stunning this looks. If you want your rose montiers to just stack up on your beads like this, I believe I've used this beading pattern in a particular headpiece tutorial. I don't know if that tutorial is up on the channel right now or not. If it's on the channel, I'll link it on the show notes for you. If it's not, it's going to go up very, very soon. I have tons and tons of videos for you guys lined up to go up on the channel, so just stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed, turn on your post notifications so you'll be the first to know anytime one of those videos goes up on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you have questions, as usual, please don't hesitate to leave your questions down in the comment section. Also, if you just have any form of feedback, if you like this, if you thought this was fantastic, just let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Also, if there's someone that comes to mind when you watch all these tutorials that I share on the channel that you'd like to share this video with, please don't hesitate to hit the share button and share it to them on your various platforms. Thank you guys so much. Another thing I'd like to also mention is I'm active on other platforms apart from YouTube. You can check me out on TikTok and Instagram. Okay, I'm going to leave my links on the screen. Feel free to go connect with me over there if that's something you're all about. Again, thank you so much for staying with me in today's tutorial. And yeah, friends, I can't wait to see you in another awesome tutorial very, very soon. Bye bye.